When health and fitness seems confusing, it's good to remember the simple things that work. When I was still experiencing extreme fatigue and nothing was helping, I would go back to and remember the things that I knew helped. And so that's where this list of things come from. Number 7 in this series is lift heavy things. Nothing else tells the body to retain or build bone and muscle density like lifting heavy things or any kind of resistance. So if you grew up with a normal, youthful amount of energy and strength, it's so easy to take your energy and strength for granted. But the body is very efficient. So however many years it's been since you have regularly lifted heavy things or done childhood things like leapfrog, climbing fences, giving piggyback rides, climbing trees, those are all forms of strength training that children do naturally. And as an adult, it's easy to get out of that. If you haven't done strength class or exercise routine or push-ups or squats in the morning, if you haven't done those things for a long time, then your body throughout that time period has been thinking we don't need this much bone density, muscle density. The other factor at play is that all the cells in your body are being replaced continuously. So normally every time you eat, your body is utilizing what you eat to create those new cells that it's replacing. However, if your nutrition is not on point and you're not getting the minerals, vitamins, and the amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein, then your body has to steal those minerals, vitamins, and amino acids from somewhere in your body. And in the scale of things, bone density, muscle density is less important than your new liver cells, your new heart cells, your new brain cells, new blood cells. So your body is going to sacrifice and cannibalize your lean tissue in order to make those new cells. So this is happening continuously unless you are eating real food like we talked about before and signaling to your body that you need to retain and or build lean tissue, bone and muscle. So something simple like push-ups against the counter in the kitchen, body weight squats, and resistance row with a resistance band will signal to the majority of the muscles in your body that you need to keep or build those tissues. If you do that regularly and you reach fatigue in each set, then your body will actually start becoming stronger. And it's important to clarify because this is a common misconception that, just because I have done a certain routine and gotten certain results over, now it's 19 years of consistency, doesn't mean that everyone will get the exact same results. So the male and female body is very different as far as the hormones. So a man can work to fatigue and build size quicker than a woman who is doing the exact same thing. So do not be afraid, women, of bulking up or getting large quickly. You're not going to accidentally become Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it is so important, and that's why women often are the ones to get osteoporosis, osteopenia in their 60s because of all the years of not lifting heavy things. So the bone loss and muscle loss was happening that whole time, but it took that long before it was physically noticeable, where a doctor could diagnose that. So most of the symptoms of aging are actually symptoms of frailty or bone and muscle loss. So loss of balance, weakened sallow skin, the weight gain or loss, it's all happening constantly. So the more lean tissue, the bone and muscle that you lose, oftentimes the fat tissue is accumulating at the same time. And so then for years and years, there's no weight change. So people think that all of a sudden they're gaining body fat, but it was happening the whole time. It was just so slow and kind of taking up the same space that they didn't notice that until later. So then it seemed to happen really fast. But it was that transition was happening long before it became a problem that was recognizable. So and the other factor is metabolism is most correlated with lean tissue. There is no tissue in the body more metabolic than bone and muscle, particularly the muscle. So the denser your muscle is, the more muscle mass you have, the higher your metabolism. So that's why kids have strong metabolism, because usually they've got a solid amount of muscle on their frame. But then as they get older, they get jobs, they get families, they stop being as active, stop playing, stop lifting heavy things, then bone density goes down, muscle density goes down, and that is frailty, and metabolism goes away with it. So the best way that you can increase metabolism for the long term is to lift heavy things regularly. Because even if you are doing cardio and playing sports and trying to temporarily raise your metabolism in a particular session, that will only last for that particular session, and none of those activities signal the bone and muscle to get denser. Only lifting heavy things, using resistance, strength training will signal the bone and muscle to get stronger, get denser, and increase metabolism. So, number 7, lift heavy things.